If you're seeing this, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to do it. But it won't stop until I do. So, what's this about?
After you see the smile dog, he haunts you to force you to show it to other people. He won't stop haunting you until you do.
You mean like that thing we just saw?
Kind of. Yeah.
Why would you show me this, you idiot?
He made me do it!
It all started 2 weeks ago. I'd just been dumped by my fiancée. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to be outside either. So I just wandered. Midtown. Coffee in my hand. Empty in my chest. The barista looked at me and asked why I was so down. I said I was fine. She smiled and said, "Then you should smile more." Later, the guy at the hot dog cart said the same thing. "I'm glad you're okay, my friend, but you should smile more." I tried. I really did. But it was weak. Hollow. You see, it's normal to smile back. It's an instinct. It's called facial mimicry. Even babies can do it. Evolution wired us to reflect each other's joy and emotion. But that day, I just couldn't. And every smiling face I saw just reminded me that I was broken, that I couldn't reflect them back, that I didn't belong. And then I saw this guy, one guy, not smiling, not pretending. And for a second I felt like we were in it together, like he knew what the world was really like. He shifted and turned. Something fell from his jacket pocket. It was small. I could barely see it, but I heard it clink when it hit the ground. I called out, "Hey, you dropped something." But the guy didn't stop, didn't even turn around. In fact, it looked like he walked away faster. I jogged over, picked the thing up, and gave a good shout. "Hey, wait up!" But the guy was gone. I looked down to see what it was he dropped. It was a thumb drive, dirty, scratched, with the words, "Do not open," scribbled on it. "If you like scary stories, please send me nachos."
Join us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month.
Now, normally I would mind my own business. I wouldn't chase strangers. But that guy, for a moment he made me feel normal again. And that drive, after seeing "Do Not Open," honestly, I really wanted to open it. Idiot. I slipped it into my pocket and finished my commute home. Once home, I dropped my keys in the drive on the table, went to the freezer, pulled out a TV dinner, and sat down to eat. I tried to eat. I couldn't taste it. All I could think about was that guy. Not because of the drive, but because he didn't smile. He made me feel like I wasn't alone. I finished maybe 3 bites, pushed the tray away, and went to the computer. Maybe there'd be pictures on it or something in there where I could identify the guy. The computer chimed. I became hypnotized. I wasn't just not hungry anymore. It's more like I never ever needed food. Like I had never been hungry before and never would be hungry again. Or thirsty. Or tired. I had one thought. The USB drive. I clicked it open. The screen went full image. A dog. A grin too wide. And crazy teeth. It felt like somebody was trying to show joy, but was getting it very, very wrong. I immediately turned away. I was confused. I felt betrayed. That guy wasn't like me at all. He was going to go home to, I don't know, look at this picture. I should have thrown it out right then. I should have known better. But instead, I just shut down the computer, walked to the bedroom, and collapsed on the bed. I think this guy's girlfriend was right. Who brings home a random USB drive and plugs it in? I had a dream. Or, I think I did. I could have been dreaming. Or maybe I was awake. Either way, the room was dark. Not regular dark either. The wrong kind of dark. Like the corners were darker than they should be. Then there was a hum coming from the other room. Something steady. Almost like breathing. Maybe the sound of my computer fan? but I was sure I turned it off. But there was a glow. That low light was leaking in from the other room. I tried to close my eyes again, but I couldn't ignore it. I started wondering, is that picture on the screen again? Maybe I should check. What? No, why? I didn't like seeing it the first time. Then, I heard a voice, but I couldn't understand what it was saying. So I got up and walked into the other room.
Spread the word. Spread the word.
The room wasn't the other room.
Word.
It was the room from the picture.
The word.
And the dog was there, repeating, "Spread the word."
Spread the word.
I locked up and just listened to this enormous dog repeating itself over and over.
Word. Spread the word.
Until I woke up in my bed. When I woke up, the light was too white. Like hospital light. Super bright but empty. The alarm clock was flashing 12. It shouldn't have been. I don't think I lost power. It was too quiet, too. No traffic, no birds. Or maybe my ears weren't working. And when I looked down at my hands, they were shaking bad. So, like a good American, I made coffee, hoping it would turn my ears on and help me see colors. It didn't help. Also, it tasted like metal. Like I'd bit my tongue. I forced myself out the door for work. Figured maybe I needed air, noise, people, even though yesterday I hated all of those things. I was right. I was right yesterday. I hated all that stuff still. There were too many smiles again. Everywhere I looked, someone was smiling straight at me. Like they'd been waiting for me to show up. Like it was some kind of weird surprise party, or I was on some kind of game show. But their smiles were even worse today. Every one of them reminded me of that weird dog picture. I told myself it was just my nerves, leftovers from a dream. But when I checked my phone, I swear that dog picture was on my lock screen. Not the whole picture, mind you, just the teeth. Cropped, so it was just a smile. I froze right there on the sidewalk. It's like I didn't even realize people were moving around me. Then someone brushed past and said, "Excuse me." They were smiling. That broke me loose. I looked back at the phone. The picture was gone. Just my normal screen. But my battery was at 9% now. And it was full just this morning. I turned around. Didn't go to work. I just started walking back the way I came. By the time I reached my building, I was sweating through my shirt. Every person I saw, their smiles followed me. I ran the last block, took the stairs 2 at a time, fumbled the keys, dropped them once, but eventually, I got my front door open. The apartment was dark and still. Really, it should be. I turned off the lights when I left. Closed the door behind me, leaned against it, trying to breathe. That's when I heard it again. That hum, low, steady. The computer. I didn't even turn it on this morning. Something is wrong. But that glow from the screen was piercing through the darkness. I wanted to leave, to pretend it wasn't there, but I couldn't. It's like my body just moved on its own. I crossed the room, each step heavier than the last, and when I reached the table, my eye started searching the screen. The image was open again, full screen, smile.jpg. But it wasn't still. It was breathing. The dog's chest rose and fell. The background shifted slightly. Not like a video. More like someone behind the screen was moving. My mouth went dry. I couldn't blink. The dog twitched. Only a little. But enough for me to know it saw me. And then it started whispering. The sound didn't come from the speakers. It came from inside the screen. Spread the word. Spread the word. I leaned in. Spread the word. Just teeth. Spread just the eyes. Word. Just spread the word. Hunger. Spread the screen the flickered. Word. And then my name appeared on the screen. Spread the word. Typed out in red. Spread William. The word. I fell
Spread
backwards,
the
knocking over the
word.
chair.
Spread the word.
The hump stopped, and everything went black.
Did he just say the hump stopped?
When I woke up, I
Oh,
couldn't anymore. What else can I do? And now you've seen this. And I'm sorry. I didn't want to do it. Just spread the word.
Not bad. Is there more?
but you were just upset before.
In for an inch, in for a mile. Also, I'm technically showing the audience now, so I'll be off the hook.
Welcome, dear viewers, to another episode of Whispers in the Dark.
Oh my god, I already want to punch this guy in the
And
face!
tonight we'll be diving into the unnerving world of the Smile Dog, the sinister entity that's haunted the minds of countless individuals. Prepare to be chilled to the bone as we share the top 5 horrifying Smile Dog hauntings that'll leave you sleepless. So turn down the lights, grab your blanket, and let's embark on this journey into the unknown together. Remember, there's no turning back once you've seen the Smile Dog. Jason was always on the hunt for the latest video games, especially the ones that were hard to find or not yet released. He had recently discovered a file-sharing website where users would upload all sorts of exclusive content, and he couldn't resist the temptation to see what he could find. One evening, as Jason scrolled through the website, he came across a file with an intriguing name, phantomgame_x.exe.
I am noticing a similar amount of
The
stupidity
description
between
promised
Smile
an
Dog
unparalleled
victims.
gaming experience, so Jason eagerly downloaded the file, hoping to get a sneak peek at something incredible. Once the download completed, he opened the file, but instead of a game, he was greeted by a single image. It was a picture of a dog, or at least something resembling a dog, with a wide, unnerving grin. The dog's fur was an odd mix of gray and maybe pink, though that might have been some light source bouncing off of it, and its eyes seemed to pierce right through Jason. Slightly disturbed, but mostly disappointed, he closed the image and deleted the file from his computer. That night, Jason's dreams were anything but peaceful. He found himself standing in a dimly lit room, the eerie silence broken only by the sound of his own breathing. Then, the dog from the image appeared, its grin somehow even wider than before. It spoke to him, its voice a guttural growl that sent shivers down his spine.
Spread the word.
Whoa!
The dog
Holy
commanded,
crap!
its eyes never leaving Jason's. Jason woke up immediately and was unable to sleep again for the rest of the night. The next day, Jason tried to shake off the nightmare, but it persisted in his mind. He couldn't escape the feeling that something was very wrong. As the days passed, the nightmares continued, each one more vivid and terrifying than the last, the dog's haunted words echoing through his mind during his waking hours. Exhausted and desperate, Jason decided to seek help online.
Oh yeah!
He discovered a forum
Online!
dedicated to
Where you got
discussing
the thing to
paranormal
begin with!
phenomena and shared his story, hoping that someone might have answers. To his surprise, several users responded with similar experiences, all involving the same dog with the same sinister smile. Jason learned that the image he had downloaded was known as Smile Dog, a cursed image that had been circulating on the internet for years. The only way to stop the nightmares, according to the forum users, was to spread the word, just as the dog demanded. At first, Jason refused to believe it. Even if it was real, that would mean that anyone he shared the image with would potentially be doomed. Jason refused to believe it. He couldn't bring himself to share the image and potentially doom others to the same torment. But as the nightmares worsened and his mental state deteriorated, he finally reached his breaking point. Late at night, in a moment of desperation, Jason searched his computer's recycle bin and restored the deleted file. With trembling hands, he uploaded the image to multiple file-sharing sites, making sure to keep his identity hidden. He even went as far as adding enticing descriptions to the files, luring unsuspecting users into the same trap he had fallen into. As Jason hit submit on the last upload, he felt a mix of guilt and relief wash over him. He knew that he had just subjected countless others to the same fate as his own, but he couldn't endure the torment any longer. He hoped that by giving in to the Smile Dog's demands, he would finally be free of the nightmares and be able to reclaim his life. That night, for the first time in weeks, Jason slept peacefully. Ava was a college student, majoring in psychology.
You see that
Today
mask?
she
More
was
like
presenting
majoring
her
in
project.
corporate-sponsored
She
fear-mongering.
explained to the class she was fascinated by the power of the human mind and how it could be manipulated through imagery. That's why for her final project, she decided to explore the phenomenon of supposedly cursed images and their impacts on the human psyche. As part of her research, Ava came across the notorious smile dog photo. The image featured a dog with an unnervingly wide grin and was believed to cause haunting nightmares and psychological torment to those who viewed it. Intrigued, Ava included the image in her project, alongside several other unsettling pictures. Her presentation continued.
How convenient.
Ava argued that these images were not actually haunted, but rather they triggered a subconscious response in the viewer. Due to the unsettling nature of the images and the inability to correctly inventory what was in the images, the mind would fixate on them, trying to decipher the source of the unease. This fixation, she explained, created the illusion of being haunted. The images could randomly pop into your head or appear in your nightmares. The class was captivated by Ava's presentation. In the days that followed, whispers began to circulate throughout the campus as students reported having nightmares featuring the eerie dog. Ava would look surprised and offer a, "Wow, that's crazy," when
Hey
people would
gang,
tell her
never
about the
trust
nightmares.
anyone that says, "Wow, that's
In the
crazy."
end, Ava got an A in her class, but ended up dropping out of psychology. The guilt was too much, but she had to show that image to the class. The smile dog had said so. David had always been an ordinary man, living an ordinary life. His daily routine consisted of catching the bus to work, enduring the monotony of his job, and then heading back home in the evening. He never expected anything out of the ordinary to happen to him. That is, until the day he found the lost smartphone at the bus stop. It was a cold and dreary evening when David spotted the phone lying abandoned on the bench. Curiosity getting the better of him, he picked it up, thinking he might be able to return it to its owner. He turned on the phone. It wasn't password protected, but it didn't have any saved numbers either. David took this bus every day. Maybe he would recognize the owner by the photos on the phone. There was a picture of a pretty woman with a bright smile, and a man. They made a cute couple. A few pictures down, he found the smile dog image. The image didn't scare him. David didn't scare easily, but it was very disturbing. He spent a minute or two examining it, then went back to the picture of the cute couple, studied their faces, and went about his evening. The next morning, David got ready for work, same as he always did. Only this time he was exhausted. All night his thoughts kept returning to the smile dog. He put some coffee in a to-go cup, grabbed that phone, and left his apartment. While he waited for the bus, he took out the phone to refresh his memory of what the man and woman looked like. When he unlocked the phone, a shudder ran through him. All the apps had been deleted except for the Photos app. When he opened it, it had nothing but endless copies of the smile dog image.
Nope, 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 so much nope.
The sight of the unnerving grin and menacing eyes sent a wave of panic coursing through David's body. He didn't know what happened, but he didn't want to hold onto that phone for another minute. David rushed over to a nearby trash can and hurled the phone inside. Despite his attempts to put the cursed phone and the smile dog out of his mind, David couldn't escape the nagging feeling that he was still being watched. This was crazy. He was working. There were people all around him. How could he still feel vulnerable? Well, the fact that he saw that dog's sinister gaze following him everywhere didn't help. He was overwhelmed. He didn't sleep the night before at all, and saw that horrible smile dog picture whenever he closed his eyes. After work, he went straight home, made himself some tea, and went to bed early. He didn't have the phone anymore. He couldn't see that picture again even if he wanted to.
This is why I don't brush my teeth. It makes it harder for Smile Dog to get you.
Behind him. But that is not what happened. That night, David was plagued by nightmares. The smile dog haunted his dreams, growling and demanding that he share the image with others. David begged the dog to leave him alone. He told the dog that he no longer had the phone. He couldn't share the picture. The dog merely snarled and continued to torment him. He told David the only way this stopped is if David would take the phone to the airport Go to international departures and leave the phone on a bench. David begged for mercy until he was woken up by his alarm clock. He felt like he hadn't slept at all. He dragged himself to the bathroom to begin his morning rituals when he heard a knock at his door. It was 6 a.m. Confused, he went to his door. There was a package on his doorstep. The package had no return address, no message, nothing to indicate who it was from. Trembling, David opened the package, and there it was. The phone he had thrown away yesterday. The cursed device containing the Smile Dog image. He turned it on, and now it required a password to unlock. But right on the lock screen was the Smile Dog. David was hopeless. He brought the phone into the bathroom with him and continued with his rituals. His eyes burned so bad. He started tearing as he brushed his teeth. Then the phone made a sound. It was a message. From the lock screen he could read, "Go to the airport now." David turned back to the mirror and continued brushing his teeth. The phone went off again. "Go to the airport now." He went to put the phone down again, and before the phone reached the counter, the phone went crazy, alerting constantly, demanding he go to the airport. David went to his phone and arranged an Uber to take him to the airport. The moment it was set up, the other cell phone stopped. He put the cell phone in his pocket and got into the cab. In the back of the cab, he began nodding off. He would still see the Smile Dog.
"Good,"
is all the Smile Dog would say, looking more excited than ever. When he arrived, he went inside, casually sat on a bench, and put the phone beside him. He nodded off for 1 second, just long enough to see the Smile Dog in his face.
"Leave."
Okay, I'm leaving.
David followed the dog's instructions. As he walked away, he couldn't help but feel a sense of dread. By placing the phone there, he was dooming countless unsuspecting travelers to the same terrifying fate he had endured. For David, the nightmares finally stopped. The Uber ride home was the first time he slept well since he found that phone 2 days ago. But the guilt weighed heavily on him. He knew that the curse of the Smile Dog had spread even further now, thanks to his actions. And though he'd escaped the torment, he would never be able to escape the knowledge of the darkness he had unleashed upon the world. Michael was a curious teenager with a fascination for the obscure and the macabre. He heard about this YouTube hack, a trick to see content on YouTube that is so crazy, I can't even get into all of it on this video. Let's just say there's a series of creepy and disgusting videos, like people looking into the camera while injuring themselves. The thing is, when using this hack, the videos that come up are pretty random, completely out of the user's control. Do not look this up. This is not a joke. This is real. Do not attempt this.
Guys, seriously, do not attempt this.
Michael would watch these videos to say he was tough. He just wanted to be cool. One Sunday night while his parents were asleep, he went back on YouTube, trying to find something that would really make his friends uneasy. It all started when Michael, while searching this underground portion of YouTube, found a video that had a link to an unlisted playlist buried deep within a comment section. It promised to have some of the most shocking, grotesque videos ever recorded. Excited by the promise of shocking and exclusive videos, he clicked on the link and began to explore the content. As he scrolled through the playlist, one video caught his eye. It was titled, "Do Not Watch Smile Dog." Ignoring the warning, Michael clicked on the video. The video began with a series of flashing images, each one more disturbing than the last. But that was it. They were just images. They were creepy, but it hardly warranted that "do not watch" warning. Just as Michael was about to close the video, the screen went black. Then, as if peering through a veil, the haunting image of the Smile Dog appeared. Its unnerving grin and sinister eyes seemed to pierce through the screen, burrowing itself into Michael's
Relax.
What is
Michael was
that?
actually
Just
shaken
stay
by what he'd
calm.
seen.
What did you
He
see?
quickly closed
It's
the video
fine.
and turned off his phone,
But
hoping to forget
you
the
did
onset
see
of the
that,
image.
right?
In the days that followed, Michael found himself plagued by terrifying nightmares of the Smile Dog. He would wake up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, his heart pounding in his chest. This once fearless teenager was now a shadow of his former self, consumed by the terror of the demonic entity that was able to haunt his every waking moment and plague him with nightmares whenever he slept. Desperate to rid himself of the Smile Dog's torment, Michael began to research the origins of the image, hoping to find a way to banish it from his life. His search led him to a community of others who had also encountered the Smile Dog, each one sharing their harrowing stories of supernatural encounters and narrow escapes. It appeared the Smile Dog would leave you alone if you shared the image. Michael went back on YouTube, went into his history, and pulled up the video. He could barely look at the screen, he was so scared. He watched just long enough to confirm it was the correct video, and wrote the video URL on a $1 bill, along with the warning, "Do not watch."
Guys, do not watch.
He went out and bought a bottle of water with the now cursed dollar and went home. It was like the Smile Dog vanished. Its terrifying presence that violently gripped Michael was somehow extinguished by this act. Exhausted, Michael emerged from the ordeal grateful for his newfound freedom from the dog's torment. He made a promise
He's
to himself
drooling.
that he would never again search the dark side of YouTube or engage in any activity like that, just to look tough. It was a chilly October evening, and the campus radio station was buzzing with excitement. A popular college radio DJ had decided to host a special show dedicated to all things spooky, in honor of the upcoming Halloween festivities. The station had been flooded with calls and emails from students sharing their scariest stories, and Max couldn't wait to share them with his listeners. As the show progressed, Max received a call from a listener who claimed to have a truly terrifying image to share: the cursed Smile Dog picture. Intrigued, and always up for a good scare, Max agreed to have the image sent to him so he could describe it to his audience live on air. When the image arrived in Max's inbox, he opened it without hesitation. As he looked at the unnerving photo of the grinning dog, Max felt a chill run down his spine. Despite the creepy sensation, he laughed it off and began describing the image to his listeners, making light of the situation and dismissing any talk of curses. "Look at that smile! He's the new spokesdog for Colgate!" That night, Max attended a party with his friends, but he couldn't shake the nagging feeling that something was off. He felt on edge, glancing around the room as if expecting to see the Smile Dog lurking in the shadows. Several people asked if he was okay, but Max just dismissed their concerns and tried to enjoy the party. The following day, Max's radio show was scheduled for its regular time slot, but he never showed up. His friends and coworkers tried calling him, but there was no answer.
He's
They
gone.
even sent
Clearly,
someone
he
to
didn't
his
spread the word
apartment,
hard enough.
which was just a short walk from the station. But there was no sign of Max. The entire campus was abuzz with the news of Max's disappearance. Rumors circulated that it was somehow connected to the Smile Dog image he had described on air just the night before. Some believe he had fallen victim to the curse, while others thought it was all an elaborate prank. Days turned into weeks, and there was still no sign of Max. As Halloween approached, the atmosphere on campus grew increasingly uneasy. The students couldn't help but wonder if Max had somehow become the victim of this Smile Dog, and were worried if they would somehow be next. What's the penalty for listening to the description? Do you have to see the Smile Dog? No one knew. All that was known is that Max was there, and now he wasn't. In the end, Max's disappearance remained a mystery, leaving behind a chilling legacy that would haunt the college radio station for years to come. The tale of the DJ who dared to share the cursed Smile Dog image would become a cautionary tale, a grim reminder of the power of fear and the unknown. As we've reached the end of our chilling journey into the
This
top
guy
5
again?
horrifying Smile
I almost
Dog
forgot how hard I wanted to punch. That's it for this Halloween, everyone. Thank you all for coming. And remember, even though everyone else is preparing for Christmas, we'll be preparing for Creepmas right here. So keep it creepy, right here on Super Horror Show. Bye!